This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to The Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
And I'm Tim.
Tim, how are you doing this week?
Tom, I'm in the middle of my summer of fun, and it's going great. I'm having fun, and it's the summertime. How are you doing this week?
What kind of, did you buy a slip and slide or something? That's what I imagine a summer of fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I don't think... I'd actually be afraid to go on a slip and slide right now. I'd be afraid to get very hurt.
Yeah, it would take me a few drinks to do it. I think I'd be more comfortable with one on a hill.
Really?
Yeah, because if you diving down a hill is better than diving onto, flat earth.
Yeah, but diving onto your belly, onto the ground, even if there is a slippery mat there.
Well, I think it's that you can't, that's where people screw up, Tim. You can't really jump on it. You got to kind of just fall forward into it. You almost trip into a slip and slide. They should call it trip and slide.
You're elegant, like a gazelle, Tom. That's why everybody.
No, but I'm saying you kind of almost have your hands on it before your legs leave the ground,
Is that proper form?
I think so. I think that's what's in all the commercials. I mean, you get hurt when you approach it like a diving board and you're like, let me see how much air I can get before I land. That's not the point to really catch
but when
air.
You're 6, you can do that.
Oh, yeah, when you're 6 and your body's indestructible.
And you don't just get, for some reason, you could do a belly flop onto a slip and slide and it doesn't knock the wind out of you.
Yeah. That's a different story altogether.
The other problem with the slip and slide, Tom, I think, is that we're full-grown men now.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to say the other problem with the slip and slide is why get a slip and slide when Crocodile Mile exists?
Of course, I had a Crocodile Mile.
Oh, so wait, you didn't have a slip and slide? You were afraid of that, but you had
I liked it when I was a kid. I'm afraid as an adult.
I see. I get confused because you still have most of your childhood fears.
I have most of my childhood teeth too.
Yeah, it's
weird.
It's so weird.
Yeah, I got a loose one. Yeah,
I know they're all
day.
loose all the time, and you keep saying you're gonna get your adult teeth soon, but
I think the slip and slides or the Crocodile Mile, if you take the pool off at the end, is roughly as long as we are tall, right? I don't think we're gonna get a long ride.
Yeah, I
when you're 3 feet tall, it's I got this long.
Yeah, it must be an Australian mile, the Crocodile Mile.
Yeah, exactly.
Or something like that, or otherwise,
weird.
They could be sued into oblivion for that kind of false advertising. Yeah. That was so the Crocodile Mile had the bump and then the pool at the end.
You run, you dive.
You take a dip.
You hit the bump
and take a dive.
Yeah. Oh, wait, no. You run, you slide, you hit the bump and take a dive.
Yeah.
You run, you slide, you hit the bump, you take a dive.
Well, now we're going to have to pay those writing royalties.
Yeah. The Crocodile Mile theme song is notorious. It's those old
the school women
who wrote Happy Birthday.
Yeah.
They also wrote the Crocodile Mile song.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thought they could have just retired on that happy birthday money that they didn't deserve.
They were talented ladies.
They were plagiarists, Tim.
Well, the Crocodile Mile theme song.
The Crocodile
Prove
Mile
that
one is...
lightning does strike twice.
Yeah. I kind of assume that the length of a slip and slide is approximately whatever the length of taking a garbage bag and cutting it in half and then just laying it out is.
No, it's thicker than that.
No, it's barely thicker than.
I don't know. Well, I wasn't a slip and slide. We only went for the luxury version, the Crocodile Mile.
Oh, yeah. I remember. I think.
What if it was slightly inflated, like one of those mats that you put under a
sleeping bag?
A sleeping bag.
Yeah. It's probably hard to build something like an inflatable thing that's built to be jumped on.
Right.
But maybe you could do it like a bouncy castle where you can have just kind of continuous air going in.
Continuous air and continuous water flowing through.
Yeah.
Wow. Now we're talking.
You really feel like you're controlling all the elements. You're halfway to getting Captain Planet to show up in your yard at that point.
Light it on fire.
So what's your summer of fun actually been?
Just try to keep cool.
Just being very hot all the time.
Yeah, I've gone in more pools this summer than I have in like the last 5 summers cumulatively.
I have not been in a pool yet this year.
Wow, I've taken a number of dips, Tom.
Wow.
Also, I don't like. I'm not a swimmer.
Would you take like 3 dips?
1, 2,
3
dips. 3 dips. No,
okay,
3 dips.
Okay.
But hey,
just, 3 more than me.
As of recording, it's only July 18th, Tom.
Yeah.
We got a lot of time left in this summer.
Right. You really get that number up.
I intend to. It's gonna rise exponentially week by week.
Yeah,
You'll see.
like a hockey stick.
Yeah. By the end of the summer, I'm gonna be in the pool like 350 times.
I hope to land somewhere in the low 4 digits of numbers of pools I've been in this summer.
I don't like swim laps or anything when I'm in there. So I realize like I get in the pool and then I don't know what to do. I just kind of stand around.
Yeah, you just kind of float around. That's the fun.
I went on a floaty thing and, put on some sunglasses.
I mean, talk about a way to stay cool.
It was a way to stay cool,
yeah. I can't remember the last time I've like gone in a pool to like swim laps. I'm just in there to hang out. Maybe see how long I can hold my breath. Maybe
take a piss.
Tread some water. Take 5 or 6 pisses.
See if I could piss enough to make the pool overflow, to make the water level rise enough to go over the side.
You've been in the pool for 10 days. Get out. You're just drinking the pool water. It'll never work.
It's not gonna work.
No, it's gonna work. I just have to do it fast enough. Just not peeing fast enough. Anyway,
how's your summer going, Tom?
My summer's going pretty good, Tim. And last night, I attended what we're talking about today. An arena rock and roll show.
Yeah. How do we classify this? Because
arena rock.
Well, here's the thing. Okay. Arena tours have been in the news a lot.
Yeah.
And
so you're going by like whatever the Google Trends are saying.
Yeah, well, I'm going whatever the Black Keys fans are talking about.
Okay.
Talking about but not acting on, right?
Right.
But I think we got to lump stadium shows into this because, like, what is a stadium but an outdoor arena?
Yeah, so I guess that's the difference between the two.
Right.
But like, stadiums are typically larger because they're outdoors.
We're just talking about big concerts.
Big old
And so
concerts.
It might say arena tours or arena concerts. Look, you got to dig deeper than just the title of the episode.
A lot of times, these concerts nowadays, these tours, it's like it's a mix. Some cities they're in arenas, some cities they're in stadiums.
Yeah.
Depends on the weather sometimes.
Sometimes it does.
Sometimes everybody gets to the show and they go, guys, it's nice outside. We're moving to a stadium. And everybody does it.
Yeah.
Well, that did not happen at the show I went to last night, Tim.
What did you go to?
I went to the opening night of Foo Fighters' I think Everything or Nothing at All tour.
Yeah, or the U.S. leg of it.
The U.S. leg, for sure. And it was...
Breaking Foos.
Breaking Foos.
What did we do? Foo Fight? No.
Foos News.
No.
News Fighters. News Fighters. Yeah, that's what it was called, the segment.
Yeah. News Fighters.
And look, we're not really good. Me and Tim already got a lot of the Foo Fighter talk out of our system beforehand. Like I talked about the specific stuff that people listening to the show would get mad about.
You went to a Foo Fighters concert without me, Tom.
I know. It's the first time in a very long time.
Pretty messed up.
Yeah, I would say I've been to most Foo Fighter shows with you.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Most of the Foo Fighter shows that you've been to have been with me. You haven't been to most of the Foo Fighters shows.
No, not like, even close, I would say.
Been to 6,000 Foo Fighter shows.
But the show got called not on rain, on thunderstorms. I don't know, maybe like an hour and a half into the set.
Yeah, it was 12 songs did they play?
On like the Foo Fighters live website, it says 16, but that's including riffs, like little covers that they play when they're like introducing the band. But yeah, it was enough that
they said 13 full songs and then the intro to Everlong. But
yeah,
one of the
about
songs
10 seconds of Everlong.
Yeah, and it didn't even get to the vocals. And one of the songs is the band introductions, which is Eruption, Thunderstruck, Sabotage, Keyboard Solo, March of the Pigs, and Blitzkrieg.
Yeah.
Right. So really 12 songs.
Yeah, about 12 songs, which, isn't awful. But they were planning on playing a lot more songs. And like, it was one of those situations where, it was, I don't know, 95 degrees last night. This was, like a heat lightning storm, just because the humidity is crazy. And it kind of not came out of nowhere. There were thunder warnings. Like people knew it was a strong possibility, but, came on pretty quickly, and to their credit, they stayed on stage probably longer than was safe for the audience. I mean, they can leave, immediately.
Right.
But, it takes a while to clear out a stadium and get everybody into the concourse. But that's what they did. And then we hung around for, I don't know, like over an hour. And then finally they said, yeah,
what was the vibe during the rain delay?
It wasn't bad. Like people were, the people had seen the majority of the show at that point.
Right.
And like Dave Grohl had even, or the band, I guess, had started playing Everlong, which is what they close with on this tour. So they were definitely thinking like, there's a good chance we're not coming back and this is going to be it. So we're going to play our biggest song, one of our biggest songs, I guess.
So funny that's their like signature song.
Yeah.
I don't know, back in the day. Mm-hmm. Look, you and I cared about Everlong. No one else cared about Everlong.
It was a pretty big song.
Not until freaking Fred Wolf on Howard Stern said, play Everlong.
Play Everlong. Play it acoustic. So yeah, that was my recent concert.
What was his name? Was that his name?
I'm not sure. That was my recent concert, or at least big stadium show experience. And this is the first time I've been to a stadium show since the pandemic, I think, right? When did we go to Billy Joel?
Pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
At the Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. And that was probably like the last big... I don't go to a ton of big rock, big arena shows, stadium shows. I'm generally not a big fan of them. No,
I don't like them at all.
Then why are we doing an episode about it?
Because I like to talk about
things you don't like.
Yeah. Honestly.
I also want to talk real quick about something that happened on the way of the show, which had nothing to do with the show. Which was, I was watching... Do you ever watch somebody in the subway? I took the subway to get there. You ever watch somebody like on the subway and you think like, that's an alien. That's an alien wearing a human disguise.
Watch people on the subways, you creep.
Freaking
sicko.
I was watching this guy. I had my newspaper with the eye holes cut out.
Oh, well, then you're covered.
You had no idea. No, but I was watching this guy. He had a seemingly brand new CD player, like portable CD player, that he was going to listen to.
A Discman?
Yeah, but like, I don't know.
Not necessarily Sony brand Discman.
Not Sony brand. But I was like, oh, that's weird. This guy, like, I haven't seen one of those in a long time, but I certainly haven't seen like a new one.
Yeah, did it have good skip protection?
I have no idea. But I watched this guy. You remember, I mean, lots of things have this, like
Henry Kissinger.
What?
I remember, were you going to say, you remember Henry Kissinger?
You remember Henry Kissinger, right?
Fondly, yeah.
The battery door on the bottom of the Discman. Mm-hmm. You know those kind of like plastic battery doors where they have like a little grip and you like, just kind of push it and it comes off?
What am I, an idiot? Yeah, of course I know
Well, I don't know what this guy's deal was because I watched it for 5 minutes trying to push it like a different way, like at a 90-degree angle. And I was looking at it. It had arrows.
Was he high?
No.
Tom, was this a doper?
No. No, it wasn't. Like, it was an otherwise like normal looking guy. And I just watched him like struggle with this. And I'm seeing this from across the subway car, and I can see
watching him like a hawk.
There are arrows pointing in the direction that the thing comes off. And of course it comes off that way. It doesn't come off by pushing it like further into the device, you idiot.
Right.
And he eventually just gave up.
No, it didn't listen to
and just like
CD.
put it back in his bag. Yeah. And I was, the whole time I was like, what is somebody did recon of Earth 40 years ago, 30 years ago. They were like, don't worry, I bought everything for you. It took them 15 years with the speed of light travel to get there and back. And this guy showed up, a spy or whatever, and just couldn't hack it, couldn't get it together. And I caught him.
I would like to carry around a Discman.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah. As long as it had good skip protection.
You're assuming that skip protection nowadays has gotten unbelievably good.
Tom, it was pretty good last time I was walking, probably 2000 when I was walking around with it.
Do you think maybe now they've gotten to the point where they can put the whole CD on there, skip protect?
Listening to Modest Mouse, The Lonesome Crowded West.
Mm-hmm.
Walking around the snowy New York City streets. Remember when it used to snow here?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore either.
No.
But I didn't really like that album. But then I was like out all day.
Yeah.
Had nothing else to listen to. By the end of the day, I was like, this album's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I think the idea in general of listening to one album is it's lost nowadays. And like, that's art changes. It's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing.
It's a bad thing.
But yeah. A good album is still that stands the test of time.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that you watched this man not be able to open a battery thing. You should have helped him out. You ever think about that? Help out your fellow man?
Then he'll be like, oh, great. I'll tell everybody else how helpful you are, and they'll abduct you tonight. And
you still think he's an alien? I said help out your fellow man.
Inside. Yeah, he wasn't a man.
You would love to get abducted by
aliens.
No,
I wouldn't. Don't put that out there. I don't want that. What if they hear that?
See the inside of the ship.
No, and then they say, great, we showed you the inside of the ship, and now we'd like to see the inside of you.
Yeah, that's fine. What makes you think that they have advanced technology in so many respects, but a probe is still going to be like so invasive?
I don't, because
we can do like MRIs and CAT scans and stuff.
But look at how we treat animals.
We're not animals, Tom.
We might be to them. And that's why they might be.
Look how we treat animals. You've taken your dog to the vet.
Yeah.
She's treated like a dang queen.
I'm saying, look at how we treat, like, a pig in a slaughterhouse or whatever.
That's you. Yeah. Well,
that's me. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm afraid of.
Well,
that's me. Tim, I told you not to talk about the slaughterhouse I own on this show. I know, but this alien might.
Yeah, a lot of people might do a lot of things to you, Tom.
There's
no reason not to have experiences.
That's why I'm afraid all the time. That's no reason to just completely call off being abducted by aliens.
Man, I was at a place the other day.
It's just going to be like a story about...
What is it? What are you going to say? What are you going to accuse me of right now? You hadn't even decided what you were going to accuse me of before
just the way you were like, I was at a place the other day where I thought it was going to be like, where I thought I could kill a man.
No. Okay. Quite the opposite. It was at like a family like resort-ish
place. You told me about this.
And there was a little kid, probably like 3 years old, but between 2 and 3.
Okay.
Like with his
toddler.
Parents, a toddler, like started to wander off, but it was like in a petting zoo situation, right? Like it was fine.
Yeah.
And the mom was like, grabbed his arm. I was like, you can't leave. You can't walk away from me like that. Do you want a stranger to come and take you, and then you'll never ever see mommy and daddy ever again? It's like, lady, chill out.
Yeah.
This kid's gonna.
Yeah. If you have to get to that kind of stuff, like
because the kid like walked 3 steps to go, like because he saw a goat that he wanted to pet. Jesus Christ! I don't know why I said that, but
she might have had a point.
What? The goat's not gonna do anything to him.
The goat's friends. You don't know them.
Like man, like
the goat, it might be
the goat has man friends.
He might.
That's a terrifying prospect as well.
So it's also weird going to this Foo Fighters show, Tim, because look, I know Foo Fighters fans somehow are older than makes sense.
Right.
Like there were a lot of people older than me.
Okay.
At the show, which I found surprising. And like some significant, like I saw like a decent number of people in their 60s.
Right.
That you know had the this other thing. Everybody wears the shirts to the shows they go to now.
Right.
Remember?
Even though Jeremy Piven said that wasn't cool
yeah,
in PCU.
and we listen to Jeremy Piven when he tells us stuff.
When Jeremy Piven said something, you freaking follow those rules.
Yeah. It was weird too. Like I saw a lot of people wearing Nirvana shirts.
Yeah, no, the lead singer of the Foo Fighters, Tom, and the rhythm guitarist, briefly, were in the band Nirvana.
I don't think they plug Pat's guitar in. but that's another thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like a weird.
He's a nice man, Tom.
He is a nice man. I like him, but I don't think they plug his guitar in anymore. I don't know. It's a weird. Like I just look at that and I think like, are people wearing that thinking like, yeah, this is gonna blow some people's minds?
No, Tom. People don't do things.
blow
people's minds.
I don't know how people. But I mean, this is also
when you put on a shirt.
I was going to say, this is also coming from me. I don't like my shirts to have any words whatsoever on them. I don't like to like attract any kind of attention with anything I wear.
Well, I think your closet full of Big Johnson t-shirts would tell a different story.
It's only a few words and they're funny.
Yeah.
Look, if it's going to have words on, they got to be funny. They got to make you laugh.
Yeah.
And the one thing Big Johnson's shirts do, make you laugh.
Big Johnson, co-ed naked.
Yeah, they make you think, too.
Oh, yeah. They're smart. Tom, they're among the smartest shirts you could buy.
You see a guy wearing a Big Johnson shirt or co-ed naked, that guy's probably a professor at the local college.
There's wordplay on it.
Yeah.
There's a wordplay on it on some egghead shirt that he wears.
I only have like a few notes about like the show itself. I said, Foo Fighters fans are old now. Like, of course, I didn't like how throughout the show, Dave Grohl would be like, here's one for the old folks. And it's like from their 5th album.
Yeah.
And that tickets nowadays, despite how bad Ticketmaster is, it's a pretty seamless process.
What do you mean by that?
Just like having it on your phone and then just like tapping your phone to a thing to get in.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But
like, I like that because I went with my brother. And
so your brother bought the ticket.
Yeah. So he was able to just send me my ticket. And then, I didn't go in before him. I just waited for him.
Right.
But like, I could have. And I like that.
He could have done that with a physical ticket as well.
Not sent it to me.
Yeah.
Digitally.
Like the mail.
Yeah. But that didn't happen.
Yeah. I know. Like, look.
But it's also too
sometimes
complicated.
It's like you get this and it's like, oh, here's your link, and like you click on the link on your phone and then it just opens up a blank web page. You're like, and then you're like, oh, maybe it just automatically went to my Apple Wallet, and it's like, how do I get to my Apple Wallet?
Yeah,
it's like, look,
just double click the side button.
See, I don't know.
Well, now you know.
Yeah, I don't study Apple gestures.
Well, but surely you try pressing all the buttons in different combinations, right? Just to see what might happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, too, in fairness, like, I had a very smooth experience. My brother did not, even though, like, he had the tickets.
Yeah.
That he said he, like, went in and it said, like, 2 tickets, 1 cent, 1 claimed. And he was like, wait, what? But it all got sorted out in the end.
Yeah. The other thing is, like, to crack down on scalping, I know, for these Foo Fighters, like, they limit those transfers until like right before showtime.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But if you buy tickets, 6 months in advance for this show, maybe something comes up.
Yeah.
And in the past, like, you could legally sell your tickets for free. But like, there's no way to get it from your, and like, it's not even like, oh, just take a screenshot, because now they all have like animated QR codes on it that like
I mean, the Ticketmaster one, at least, like, it didn't even offer it offered like add it to your Apple Wallet, and like I assume they do the same on Android, and it's like that's it. And there's probably some complicated if like you, I don't know, don't have one of those, just like how the stadium's completely cashless now.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to spend cash, you have to go to a reverse ATM machine.
Yeah.
And like put money in it and then get a card. So it's like, yeah, I'm sure there's probably like if you don't have an Android or Apple smartphone, here's like where you can send a self-addressed stamp envelope to.
Disgustingly cumbersome process.
Along with your physical license.
To be able to use your $500 nosebleed ticket.
But I mean, that's, it's like physical media that, people are becoming more and more aware nowadays of, if you don't own physical media, you don't own that thing. The games you buy on your Nintendo Switch, you can't be like, oh, I bought this game, I don't like it, Tom, let me send it to you.
Yeah.
And you can play it. Like, no. But if you had the cartridge, you could do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, same thing.
I bought the complete series of News Radio on DVD the other day.
Oh, okay. So you can start lending that out now.
Yeah.
Yeah. One disc at a time.
One disc at a time, Tom.
And you're going to quiz the people to make sure they watched every episode.
If you didn't watch it, then why am I even lending it out?
Maybe they're just trying to get to like episode 17 they really like, but they've got to, go through this whole rigmarole you've set up.
Yeah, and you had to watch them in order. You can't just be like, can I have season 3, disc 4? Yeah. No.
See, I'm seeing how this could turn into a real big fight.
Well, I want people to appreciate it.
Yeah. But then I could see why people might try and, scam the system. Might try to be like, yeah, I watched them all.
Well,
and that's why you have to institute the
If you want
to
do that and you don't want to respect it, spend the $15.99 yourself.
Tim, a lot of bands canceling arena tours this year.
A lot of people getting a little big for their britches. Yeah. I think what happened, Tom, was you hear about the pandemic in, when people call it pandemic.
Pandemic?
Yeah, they're like,
no, I haven't heard that.
The pandemic style. Yeah, no, it's cool. It's like when people, instead of saying 100, they'll be like, yo, it's a hundo.
That's
good. That's
cool.
Very cool. Yeah. What about when somebody, instead of saying cash, says cash?
Cash. I like that, too.
You like that? You would like that. I hate it. It grates on me. That's the difference between you and me.
I don't know if I've heard people say it that way. I'm imagining...
Yeah, but you heard me say it, and you were like, wow, that's a cool way to say cash.
Well, because I'm imagining I'm at, like, the gas station, and the guy says, would you like to pay with credit or cash?
No, it's more like... I need that cold, hard cash.
Cash. Yeah, I like it.
You would like it. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah. The pandemic, Tom.
Yeah, the pandemic.
And then afterwards, everybody's like, oh, I'm dying to be with people again.
Yeah, I'm dying.
Remember that feeling?
Yeah.
Where it was like, oh, it was a weird feeling to be like, what I would give to be in the middle of a huge crowd right now. Which is a totally insane thing to think.
Well, and especially when, we were all being told, like, you can make, like, one friend. and you can only talk to them on the phone. Like the idea of again being in a big crowd.
Yeah. No, it was like freedom, insane. But also like every time I'm in a big crowd, I'm just like, I wish I was alone in my room right now.
Yeah.
Hey, grass is always greener. Huh?
I mean, that's I was thinking that a lot about like getting in and out of the stadium, of just like getting lots of people in and out of places. There has to be a better way.
Right?
Tubes or something.
There's got to be like
everybody gets their own staircase.
A stadium innovation where just like the whole stadium lifts up and everybody just like walks out or something, right? Like,
yeah. Now, please, everybody, stay in your seats as the stadium lowers to the ground.
Yeah.
So then everybody can just walk out.
Yeah. It's now flat. It's flat Earth. Just go live your life now.
Everything's flat. Everything's fixed. It's a lot easier. Well, I was reading.
Oh, no, so what happened was, Tom, there was a hunger, there was an appetite, there was a market for these
live experiences again.
And people were like, "Yeah, I'll go see some mid-level band," and the demand is there, and then they start jacking up the ticket prices.
I was gonna say there's also the like, I haven't been able to go see a live show in years now. I'm the kind of person that normally went to maybe like a few a summer. So if tickets are $500, that's fine.
Yeah.
Not fine,
also,
but I'll pay it because I haven't been anywhere in a million years.
I'm one of those people that don't want to work anymore. And because the government gave me thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars throughout the pandemic, that happened, right?
Joe Brandon,
yeah.
he said, hey, take this money and
ruined our economy by doing it.
Go to a Taylor Swift concert with it.
Well, no, so is that, right? So everybody's like, and of course, like the businessmen, they're real smart. They were like, "Well, this will last forever, so like let's book all the things. We'll jack up all the tickets." And then Taylor Swift comes along.
The same businessmen that were like, "This is amazing. I think everybody's going to buy a brand new laptop from now on every year."
Or the same businessmen during the pandemic who were like, Peloton will the exercise you can do in your home will forever be the most popular thing.
I don't know what happened, but our business finally clicked, I think.
And then they're like, this will happen forever. And then Taylor Swift comes along.
I'm realizing
she's
now,
like, oh, I can sell tickets for $1,000 a pop. So they're like, maybe the Black Keys can can sell tickets for $1,000.
Oh, so you're blaming her? You think she told them?
No, I think everybody is trying to be Tay-Tay. Yeah. That's what I call her.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah, I got into Tay-Tay during the pandemic.
Boy, the rest of this episode.
To see her Aristotle cost me a few hundo, but I got the cash.
The rest of this episode were just the sounds of you being strangled. I was reading about, we know about Black Keys and J-Lo completely canceling their arena stadium tours.
Black Keys downsizing. J-Lo just...
J-Lo is...
Bennifer's in disarray from what I understand.
Oh, boy. Yeah, and this might be part of it.
You follow that pretty closely, right? You're an Affleck guy.
Yeah, you know what? He's the kind of guy that I like, but I also don't like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like that's probably the way his friends feel about him, too.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him, but like he makes it hard. But then
I'm still like, oh, you idiot. Why'd you do this thing?
Yeah. Just go back. I think he should cut everything out of his life except for executive producer of Project Greenlight.
Yeah, just
get
do
that
full time.
That's the thing you're best at.
No, but I think somebody like J-Lo, understandably maybe, was like, oh, if I can't do an arena/stadium tour, then I just won't be a musician anymore. Then forget it. Like, forget the whole thing. I'm certainly not going to play smaller places.
J-Lo's wild because, like, she's a very good actress.
Is she?
Yeah. You ever see Out of Sight?
No. I've seen Made in Manhattan.
Yeah, she's good in that.
Yeah. I've never seen her and thought like, oh, she's a bad. No, she like, I think especially like rom-com actress. She's good. And like, I'm not saying that as like a dismissive thing. I think some people think like, oh, that's easy. But I think she does like I watched Made in Manhattan somewhat recently.
Why did you watch Made in Manhattan?
What
happened?
I was at a wedding. This was last summer, I guess, maybe 2 summers ago.
And you just were feeling romantic?
No, we had Ginger with us at the hotel, and we we had like a suite, and we left the TV on for her during the day. So she could, watch stuff, whatever. Like, she doesn't like it if it's too quiet. And Made in Manhattan was on repeat on like TBS or TNT. And I was like, you know what? J-Lo's doing a very good job at like in this movie convincing me that she's just like a normal person when she's not.
Yeah. Well, she has experience. Don't be fooled.
By the rocks that she's got.
She's just Jenny from the block.
Jenny hasn't been back to the block in a long time.
You don't know that. You don't know anything about her.
I go to the block all the time, and I ask them, "Hey, when's the last time Jenny's been here?"
They're going to tell you the truth.
Nah, they tell me.
Yeah, whatever, narc. I'll tell you the status of Jenny.
But anyway, she canceled her tour. But I was reading a few that I didn't know about. 311 canceled their upcoming European tour dates due to, quote, the rising costs of touring overseas, which made completing certain portions of the tour unfeasible. Right. I mean, that's a long way of saying, like, we would have to charge more for these tickets and we wouldn't be able to sell enough of those tickets, so we can't do this.
Right. I mean, that might have been a shorter way of saying what you said.
No, they should get me out there to say that. Also, in this article from NBC News, they mentioned Pink canceling shows, but I think that was for health reasons.
Yeah. And also the I in Pink is an exclamation point.
Is that true?
I think so.
Huh.
I just wanted to point that out.
She does like crazy acrobatics, like aerial
stunts.
Yeah.
Friend of the show, Christine, and friend of the show, Aaron Lee. Big fan of.
They went to see her live.
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake.
No, they're big fans. I think they've seen her live like several times.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake has canceled several shows, and I think it was like shows that weren't selling well. Because that's the thing too. Like, I mean, nowadays for the last 30 years, you can go online and be like, oh yeah, there's a lot of tickets available for this show.
Yeah, you can see like it used to be. So line up at Sam Goody or Tower Records, and you just be like, 2 of the best tickets you got, and
I'll pay any price.
Yeah.
And they're like, we have 2 price tiers.
$11 and $17.
Yeah. And the Jonas Brothers have recently postponed their upcoming European tour, though none officially cited financial reasons.
Right. Well, there's turmoil in the Jonas Brother camp as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot about all that stuff. Yeah.
Everybody's always getting divorced, and it's affecting their careers.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean, when you make your like relationship part of your, I don't know, like public persona, I guess.
What's that damn paparazzi, Tom?
Yeah.
That's what I've been saying for years.
Well, also here's the thing with a lot of these celebrity couples that get married. Like a lot of times they live in different countries. It's like, how do you think this was going to work?
Yeah.
And
they're all real good looking.
Yeah. And it's like,
so we're not going to see each other for 6 months, and I'm going to be surrounded
every day people are going to try to have sex with both of us.
Yeah.
Or at least offer it. It's just there anytime. Yeah. Well, I mean, to say nothing of like being on film shoots and stuff like that, all that kind of stuff. But there's good news, Tim. Hootie and the Blowfish have 48 dates booked this year. Dave Matthews, 34. Other top acts hitting the road this summer include Maroon 5, Zac Brown Band, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Kenny Chesney, and Chris Stapleton.
Nice. This is the year, Tom. Country has gone mainstream.
And this is the year. It's been mainstream for a while now.
All right. Bad Bunny.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. I'm sure he's doing huge stadiums.
Olivia Rodrigo.
Oh, yeah. The
Remember
Guts
her?
tour.
And sometimes the Breeders open for her.
Yeah. And she's doing the Guts tour. So presumably they got to get the aggro crag in there every night.
Why wouldn't they do that?
Because,
they can afford the
because she
aggro.
was born 10 years after that show ended.
But like getting Mike O'Malley out there
Okay.
to introduce her.
Yeah, that's really going to blow her like 15-year-old.
Look, if I'm there to see the Breeders, and then I'm like,
Mike O'Malley comes out
and they reveal the aggro crag.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sticking around for Olivia's
Yeah,
set.
the
Thank you
Peel
very much.
sisters pull a big curtain down.
Yeah.
Aggro crags there. They say tonight, one of you will be taking home a piece of the aggro crag.
Tom, it's messed up that people are selling replicas of the
Oh,
aggro.
are
That should
they?
be illegal.
That should be something the Secret Service is keeping an eye on, like counterfeit currency.
Madonna was doing a tour. Yeah. She was getting sued by some fans.
Oh, for like showing up late, right?
Yeah, I hate that crap.
Yeah, I mean, that is horse shit. Like,
this is also the thing about like arena tours, right? Like, all right, it stinks to watch a show in an arena, right?
it's the worst place to see a show. Like, it's cool for certain bands to like see them that way once, and like especially if it's a band you've liked for a long time and they've like worked their way up, like it's cool to see that. And like some bands, especially bands nowadays, like I think of like U2 as an arena stadium band,
Right.
that put a lot of like, yeah, this is what we play. So every tour we've got like some crazy innovations in how we're going to make this not just feel like a little stage in the middle of a huge area.
My problem is the sound, right?
Yeah.
Like I like an immersive experience. I went and saw Radiohead at Madison Square Garden, and they had like cool lights and stuff. But like I wasn't on the floor. I was like up like halfway on the walls, I guess. How do you describe that?
Up in the stands.
Yeah, and it wasn't loud enough.
Oh,
It just felt like there were people in front of me having just like
normal conversations.
a normal like full voice conversation that like drowned out the music. That like it just seemed like it was like music that was playing in the background of a basketball game. You know, like it was just yeah, which was cool. And Radiohead opened with that.
Y'all ready for this? Do you know about these delay towers?
Let's hear about these delays.
Oh no, I thought you would be able to explain them.
Oh, is this so that
like how they work? Because that's what they use in like big areas where
mostly stadiums, right? These are outdoor.
Yeah, where the like speed of sound becomes a problem essentially, right? So I guess it's just that the speakers closer are a little delayed, right?
Yeah, is it so it matches?
Yeah, so you're hearing your local speaker and the speaker far away that is taking, 100th of a second to get to you. And it sounds okay. Because I was reading about like the history of like stadium and arena stuff, and that was like a big problem for a while, how to solve that issue of if you just keep putting more and more speakers, at some point it's just going to sound like a mess unless you somehow compensate for that. And along with that, I was reading about do you know about the Grateful Dead's Wall of Sound?
That's Phil Spector, Tom. The Wall of Sound.
No, the Grateful Dead also had one. It was a real one. They only used it from March to October in 1974. I was reading somewhere that it's considered, which is interesting because I was like, what's the first? That it's considered the second biggest non-permanent like speaker structure.
What's the first biggest?
Exactly. And they didn't mention.
Wait, where did you see that? Did you read this on GratefulDead.com?
No, it's on Wikipedia.
Okay.
You think no, they're all high as a kite on there.
No, Grateful Dead fans were early on like Usenet and stuff.
Oh,
right?
that's true. Yeah.
They're that like brand of like old person who's like
tech savvy,
but also like their like tech knowledge ended in like 2002.
Right.
So like if you were like, oh, how do I set up like a video like thing, like they'd be able to rig it up for you, but it would be so inefficient and like.
Yeah. This wall of sound weighed 75 tons.
That's okay. Yeah. This stuff, I mean, a lot of that's wood.
Well, but because of that, it took 4 tractor trailer trucks to move it.
What was it? Just speakers?
604 speakers.
Mm.
And it's funny because looking at it, there was like a drawing of it on the Wikipedia article. It's like a weird, like it's not symmetrical in any way, and like some of the towers of speakers are really tall, some are short. That you can tell it's like, yeah, the sound guys and the Grateful Dead like tweak this to like, no, I want one more speaker here. Because they used it as their monitoring system as well. It was behind them, which is dangerous. Not a good idea. But it was behind them,
These
so they could
burnouts.
Yeah, so they could hear and know exactly how it sounded, which I guess is probably why it was like laid out so strangely.
I talked to a guy,
but that didn't need delay towers. That was like a big thing that it could project.
Yeah, because it's just one.
Yeah, and it could project for like half a mile and still loud enough.
I talked to a guy who saw the Dead at the Sphere. Tom.
Oh yeah.
Spoke highly of it.
The Sphere or the Dead?
Jerry Garcia did
not attend. It was Jerry
Garcia?
Garcia?
No, he didn't attend.
Oh.
The guy was pissed. He asked for a refund.
The Wall of Sound 2, they would have to use like a leapfrog method because it took so long to set up. So like a crew would have to go to the next city and start setting up before they were done. Like that kind of thing. The Beatles, have you ever heard of them?
Yeah, the lovable lads.
The guy from Ringo Starr's All-Star Band.
Yeah.
He was in the Beatles.
Yeah, Ringo Starr.
Yeah, that was like Ringo Starr's Nirvana.
Right. Yeah, not a lot of people remember that he was actually in it.
You show up at a Ringo Starr in the All-Stars
and his All-Star
band.
In a Beatles shirt?
You're going to blow some minds.
Yeah, people are going to be like, what?
Why are you wearing that here?
Yeah.
That's not the band. No, he was in this band too. No, I would have heard about that.
Yeah, go fuck yourself is what they'll say to you.
No, he used to not wear those little sunglasses.
He did wear the sunglasses. No, I guess not.
Not in the early days. But that's considered, Tim, the first...
The sunglasses?
No, the Beatles playing Shea Stadium, the first stadium show.
Ah.
It's widely considered
I was
to
at
be...
that show, Tom.
You were at that show. And I was going to say like, oh, and then I saw a show there. No, it's Citi Field, not Shea Stadium.
Shea Stadium's gone, man.
But
you know who closed out Shea Stadium?
Who?
Our boy.
Oh,
Billy.
BJ. Yeah, of course. But yeah, it was mostly the 70s that arena rock shows became like a thing. And it was bands like The Who. And The Who used to, apparently during the Wall tour, would build a wall during the show that then would be like...
Wait, Pink Floyd?
Or Pink Floyd, yeah. What did I say?
The Who.
The Who. Yeah, not The Who.
Yeah, they didn't even have an album called The Wall.
No, they didn't even have a song called The Wall. But The Who apparently also but speaking of them, isn't it so weird that there was a band called the Guess Who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're Canadian. They're good. I'll never forgive Lenny Kravitz for what he did to the Guess Who.
What did he do?
He covered American Woman and took out all the cool parts.
Yeah.
He took out the drums, which was the number one cool part.
Yeah.
And he took out the guitar riff.
Yeah.
Look, Lenny, if you can't play that riff, just let somebody else play. Hire another guy, a sideman.
Yeah, and his version I always thought was so lame compared to the original. But the Who, at least at one, I don't know if they currently still do, probably, but at least at one time held the Guinness World Record for the loudest concert.
Yeah, I never look
126 decibels, which Peter Townsend's like deaf now, right? Like,
yeah.
It's like, yeah, and that's why.
I also don't understand. Like Dave Grohl is like, he doesn't actually use like in-ear monitors or earplugs. He's just like, I want to hear everything.
Oh, really?
It's like, no. He's like, I got tinnitus so bad. And it's like, well, you don't have to live like this.
And also, it's just going to get worse. It's not like, oh, once you have it, fuck it. It can't get any worse. No, it can become severe tinnitus. Fog machines, first popularized by Alice Cooper.
That's not a surprise.
No, but it's like
he's a very theatrical
man.
There
were a lot of things that I learned where it was like, oh, like that's not a surprise, but it's interesting to learn.
You know, like the history, especially like rock and roll stuff, like the history, like it didn't start all that long before our lifetime.
No,
like
no,
I read
not
this
at all.
book. My dad recommended it. He actually bought me a copy. I forget what it's called. The Birth of Loud is what it's called.
Okay,
and it was about like the creation of electric guitars.
Yeah,
and it was like Leo Fender and Les Paul against each other, and it was just like.
Yeah, and
this
Les
happens
Paul only died a few years ago.
Yeah, and it was like before that there were no electric guitars.
Yeah,
and then they were like, they really got a boost when Buddy Holly started using them, and it's just like, what the hell? Like he was like
Buddy
the first
Holly.
guy to popularize an electric guitar. Yeah, it's just it's weird stuff, weird, wild stuff. I was born 15 years after Sgt. Pepper came out.
After the guitar was invented.
No, but like,
yeah.
You know.
No, I mean, it was like a few weeks ago when I was telling you about realizing how Vietnam had only ended like a few years before, less than a decade before we were born.
Yeah.
And it's just insane because anything before you're born, you're like a million years ago.
Yeah.
Infinite years ago, I wasn't around. So along those same lines of like stadium rock innovations, the Rolling Stones Steel Wheels Tour.
I think you mean the Steel Wheelchairs
in
tour.
1989 was the first to use large video screens in stadium shows, enhancing visibility for distant audience members, which I remember that was like part of the joke. That was like, oh, and they have video screens for all the old timers.
Yeah.
That can't
Could you
see
imagine
these,
going to
40-year-old men on stage.
Could you imagine going to an arena show
where you can't see the people?
And it's just the band playing their music, no elaborate light show or...
I mean, I could imagine it if tickets were like $15, $20, I'd be happy to. But nowadays, no.
I wouldn't go still if I wasn't on the floor.
I was disappointed at this Foo Fighters show that they didn't use the Mets screen.
Oh, yeah.
Because that thing's huge. They're like Jumbotron. They had, I think, I don't know, 2 or 4 like big screens as a part of their staging, but it wasn't as big as the Met screen.
I know. Mr. Met has a
He's
stranglehold on it.
PC Richards and Sons. And that's where he gets them from. The advent of in-ear monitors, Tim, was in the 90s, and it revolutionized stadium performances, allowing musicians to hear themselves clearly despite the massive size of the venues.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Grohl doesn't wear in-ear monitors because he knew what was going on. Maybe he was just getting signs from somebody.
They might have just been talking through his monitor too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not thinking that he does have like his own monitor. Yeah. That somebody might just be like, no, get off the stage.
Yeah. He also has one of those chips. Do you want to guess the top 5 grossing tours of all time, Tom?
I know one of them at least for at least a little while was Paul McCartney. Or maybe, no, he had the most paying customers, paying ticket holders.
Tom, I'll tell you, in the top 20, Paul McCartney does not appear.
Wow. Yeah, because this is like overall venue, right?
This is a tour, confined to a tour.
Oh, I saw some of this, yeah.
The Gross.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask you this. Is Bob Dylan in there with his never-ending tour?
Ooh, I don't think they've taken
because I think it was like a Wikipedia list maybe even of like longest tour or like tours with the most dates. And it was like number 1, Bob Dylan, 3,000 plus dates. And then like kind of the asterisks of like, yeah, it's just always been the same name, but these aren't really the same tours.
Bob Dylan. Look, he's like a trick, right? He's been playing a trick on everybody.
What do you mean?
Like he was like cool, and then he's like, I'm gonna play a trick. I'm gonna like try to be insufferable and see how long people like put up with my shit. And it turned out to be like a really long time.
It turned out to be
like another half century after that.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. It seems like he just kind of enjoys being weird and enjoys like tricking
He's
people.
doing this thing now with his tours, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
He came out with I think like an album like 8 years ago, and has come out with albums since, but then like at recent tour dates he's been playing like exclusively covers, but also all the merch is for that album that came out 8 years ago, and like it's like branded as a mini tour, but it has nothing to do with the songs that he's actually playing. And like people didn't find out till they got like it wasn't billed as this.
Yeah, what do they call that? Dead stock? Is
no? Because it had
like the dates.
It had the tour dates on it.
Yeah, that's weird.
He's a weirdo.
Yeah.
I think he's just playing a trick on everybody.
Yeah, he's a trickster, Bob Dylan.
I'm more of a Jacob Dylan guy.
Tim, Rami Malek from the Wallflowers was playing with the Foo Fighters.
Yeah, Rami Jaffe, but
not Rami Malek. No, it was the craziest thing. The guy from Mr. Robot and Oppenheimer, he was playing the keyboard.
He was in Oppenheimer for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool power move. Tom, the number 1 highest grossing tour of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Your girl, Tay-Tay.
Yeah, it's what made her a billionaire.
Yeah. I mean, the gross receipts so far are $1,039,000,000. So like,
yeah. So how much could that concert have cost to put on? $10,000,
maybe at most,
and then the rest is just profit.
Number 2, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
It's your boy Elton John with his Farewell Yellow Brick Road tour.
Yeah.
Now this is a little misleading because like the Eras tour.
I kind of wish I had seen that. I'm not a big Elton John fan, but as big a fan as the next person. Yeah. Like he's got some real great songs. So.
Yeah. So the Taylor Swift the Eras tour was like 2023 to 2024.
Yeah.
This seems like it's cheating because it made almost as much. It's 2018 to 2023. But also there were a couple pandemic years there.
Yeah. So those just get wiped out completely.
And then Coldplay. Do you know that there are... Tom, Coldplay... Is Coldplay... When I hear about Coldplay...
I love that you're like, how do I phrase this?
The way that I think about Coldplay, is that the way that most people think about like the Foo Fighters, where it's like, this band, I know they're big, they got nothing to do with me, and like, I don't know, didn't they have like 2 or 3 hits 20 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the case for like most bands that, especially nowadays, like, I don't know. Yeah, there just aren't tons of hits, but yeah, there's something about Coldplay that like maybe it's because they like appeal to like
Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox, but like, I don't know, people that have disposable income to spend on concert tickets.
Yeah, I feel like
they've just found the like sweet spot of like people that have money to go to these shows, but like didn't learn about any other bands.
But why didn't they?
I don't know. Or it's just like, I mean, there are people that go to shows. And I feel like I guess that's one of the weirdest things to me about like arena shows, that there are, I would say probably like the majority, at least of Americans, that it's like the only shows they go to are an arena show, a stadium show.
See,
once every
I go
year
see
or
shows
so.
at CBGB's every night of the week.
You go all the way to Las Vegas to,
Yeah.
Is that they have like a shirt shop or
I think
something?
at the airport.
Yeah. But that's the way most people like think of when they think of to see a band. And I guess they like those same people probably just think like, yeah, I mean, Coldplay is like a big band. They're the band that I like know the most songs of, or I don't know, some people might even be fans of theirs. They might like the music that they make.
Unlikely.
I don't know, but
I don't know. I mean, they seem fine. That one song on that one album is really good. No, the first song on that album, the
Yellow?
dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
They have some good songs. Hey, I like Coldplay.
I mean,
Also, like, I feel like Chris Martin is just like, I don't know, he networked enough to get enough people to come to his shows, I think.
yeah. I mean, I think he's just like a
Full of like diplomats and stuff at the shows.
yeah,
and, like,
he's like one of those. He's like a Bono guy.
Yeah.
I think of like, oh, I'm gonna be like the rock star that has like causes,
Yeah.
and all these people will meet with me because I'm a famous rock star. But there's gonna be this kind of like flywheel effect of like, now I've met with the Dalai Lama, so now I'm that much more famous, and
right, but like, I don't know.
now I can meet with.
I don't know who else meets with the Dalai Lama. I'm not like buying tickets to.
I'll tell you one guy that met with the Dalai Lama. It's the Keith Raniere from NXIVM.
And now he's dead.
No, he's not dead.
Oh.
You're thinking of Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
You're always thinking about him. You're always missing him.
If you like the show.
How come I don't get any invites to his parties anymore? If you like the show, you can find out more at tcgte.com.
See, like that, like I'm not even close to famous enough to be on that.
Wow,
that's not believable.
Sounds like doth protest too much. You can get links to our social media, our Discord, our subreddit, all at tcgte.com. You can follow me on social media at Tom Reynolds.
Nah, I'm not really on social media.
You can also check out our Patreon, patreon.com/complete guide, where you can get books and podcasts, a full other show. This week, I watched Eat, Pray, Love, starring Julia Roberts, after Tim read Eat, Pray, Love, starring Julia Roberts.
Yeah, as the eater.
And the prayer and the lover.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't. I'll save my thoughts for the movie for paying customers.
Right.
Patreon.com/complete guide.
I didn't not like it. Is what you're gonna say?
I guess you'll have to pay to find out, Tim, like everybody else.
Not like it.
What else I got in here?
What's the best arena show you've been to?
I don't know. I remember really liking that was a theater show. I was gonna say I saw Muse before they were like big enough in America to play arenas and stuff, and they had like a really cool theater show of like lights and all kinds of stuff like that. I haven't been to too many arena shows. Like I haven't been to ones with like very elaborate staging and lighting.
Yeah.
And I'd like to. I mean, I guess I've been to like outdoor Radiohead shows that have been pretty big.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like when we went to that Liberty State Park, pre 9/11, by the way.
Yeah.
So
like
really long time ago.
2 weeks before 9/11.
Yeah.
Or a week, something like that.
Yeah.
But that was cool. But
we timed it right.
But part of me would like to see like a U2, like or like a Taylor Swift or Beyonce, just like somebody who has like a huge arena setup. Because that was part of my complaint about the Foo Fighters show, that it was like it was the same staging as the last time I had seen them, and it was like, yeah, there's like a runway out to the audience, you know, the floor seats, and there's like room on the sides for Dave Grohl to occasionally run down. But like, other than that, it's like, yeah, that's really it. And then they got, you know, a couple of screens and, you know, like really impressive lights and everything. But
yeah, I definitely like respect the, like, we're going to come out here and we're just going to rock. We're a rock and roll band.
yeah,
But it's like, I don't know, these ticket prices and like that, like, and I saw you be a rock and roll band in 1997.
yeah,
in a
at
much
like
small,
rock and roll clubs.
yeah, and that was cool. If I'm going to spend that money and like deal with all the bullshit, I do want to see like Taylor Swift
a spectacle
dives into a hole on the stage,
Yeah.
and everybody's like, "Where does she go?" And then like the stage morphs, and then
Yeah.
I want to see some costume
Yeah,
changes.
come on, Dave Grohl, dive into something on stage. Change the costume.
your costume.
Yeah, just change the costume. You can do it on stage. Throw a different T-shirt on.
Yeah, or do one of those magician, you know, those magicians that like do the quick change things.
Yeah, do some quick changes. Do a little. Hey, put a little magic in the show. Can't hurt.
I got something about magic to talk about in the Patreon episode. Remind me.
Wow, what a tease. All right, we'll see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.